Ooh, good morning, Stonk Seekers. How are you doing? Hope you're all very well. Good morning to Aaron, all the way from Houston. Good morning to Jeffrey Champlin, all the way from Madrid. Ah, cool. Buenas tardes, amigo. Are you Spanish with a name like Jeffrey Champlin? Wow, that would have been an Englishman in York. There's an educational TV show in Spain. Oh, I should introduce this one first, shouldn't I? Hi, I'm Rocky Outcrop. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is a technical analysis show. We look at charts. Here's a chart up in the background. That's for Evergrande. It's been dumping, but there's like good news. So yeah, here's GameStop. Is another chart, for example. We're talking about how you could be looking at getting into this one with some sort of moves in and around about this region. $167.53 was where it finished off. Is that right? Is that where it finished off yesterday? Aye, that's where it finished off yesterday. 173.99 in pre-market. That's not bad. Over there on AMC, this is the American Movie Classics is the name of this company, isn't it? Anyway, right, yeah, this is what it looks like, right? Great, okay, that's the charts. These are charts. That's what we do on the show. So yeah, good to see you. Right, back to the chitter chatter though, because it's nice to say hello to people. And if you are just joining me and you're watching this in the watching the recorded version or whatever, leave a comment down below so I can say hi to you as well. Good afternoon from Newcastle, UK. Yay! Kevin's a Geordie. Are you a Geordie? Is that where you're from originally, Kevin? Man, a Geordie. I love Geordies. They're lush. Generation Ape, good afternoon from Stockholm. Oh, wow, cool. We're really going all round. America, Europe, and UK so far here. Good morning from Iowa. Yeah, good morning in Iowa, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you, Generation Ape. What a polite start to the session. Yes, it is. Ghost of Dan, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dan Ernst. Good morning, 3D Benki. Good morning to y'all, or good evening. Good evening, everybody in Tokyo. Good morning, Bad Mama Jama in Illinois. Might as well. Hope we don't dox you there in that sense. Good morning, Joe in near Krakow. Going to say you're near Krakow in Poland. Good morning, Banana Freeze. Don't know where you're from, Banana Freeze. Good morning, Verved. Good morning, Ghosted Jiu-Jitsu Guy. Good morning, Winky Wonky Donkey. Tom. Luke Spears, Supernova. Kim, you can all drop where you're from in the chat if you want to have a nice thing. Wheel of Time commercial opens for Rocky for me today. Oh, how brilliant! A commercial for Wheel of Time on my show. How great is that? I wonder if there's any connection there at all. Probably mostly to do with what you've been up to rather than what I've been up to. But yeah, Wheel of Time rocks. Cool. Good morning from Oklahoma. Hey, Oklahoma. Fantastic. Nice one. Good morning. Good morning from Chattanooga, Tennessee. What a name. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh, London Heathrow Terminal 5. Wow. Excellent. Wow. Jumping Jabberwock. Are you on your way in or out, or is that where you work? Excellent. That's so great. Good morning from Ohio, says Stephen K. Indiana for Kim. Wow. Washington State. Stephen Carter from Washington State. Here it rains a lot over there, but lovely place to be though. I want to go there sometime. I want to go to most of these places. Maine. Good morning from Maine. Sammy, yo, Maine. Right, Maine. Is that not the place where that TV show was set with them, where that 70s show, is that what they called it? Where the kids would Ashton Kutcher, you know, and all that. Is that where that was set? In Maine? I think it started off with them saying that they're in Maine and how much like they disliked being in Maine. I'm not too sure. Wyoming, Horn Hunter. Yeah, you're from Wyoming. Good to see you. Cool, Wyoming. I was looking at Wyoming stuff on the internet there yesterday. I was chatting with Bad Mama Jama, trying to find out some more information about investigating old QSIPs and how you might go about it, and looking at some information on Wyoming State website just to see how they do it there. Well, it's because it came up on Google. Yo, is the big GME move on December 13th to 15th still on? December 13th to 15th. 13th to 15th. Wait, this is GME 13th to 15th. Will we get a big move in 13 to 15? Well, I mean, sure. Why not? Why not? Why is it not? Why not? Why not? Why not? See, the thing about this asking questions about whether or not something was still on or whatever, you keep popping your areas in Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin, says Jeffrey Champlin. Hey, well, you know a thing or two about 70s show. Wisconsin, that's where they described as being like nowhere. Then I guess, right? It's -7 wind chill today. Yeah, it's like wind. Any wind at all makes me go oh 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 oh. Hold on. Oh missed. Hit. The machine went and went fired up, but I see that should have been a proper ticker bingo effort. That one. Why did it not work? Ticker bingo, ticker bingo. I went ahead and I got the premium version of this alerts thing. I paid them for it and all so that I could get it to work properly. So I'm trying over here. I'm trying. I'm trying. Where was that? Where's my alerts hiding at though, eh? Hey, there they are. Hello. Good morning, Rocky. Keep it up. Hey, Sarah Steino. You keep it up too. Sarah Steino is really friendly and funny. It's just funny. You know, if there's a nation, I think I've said this on the TV show, on the show before. If there's a nation in the world, in my opinion, that's got the funniest female comedians, and I don't know which particular word you want to use for comedian, comic, whatever. Oh, and the markets have opened. It's got to be the United States, right? So nice little gap there, but you know, we can fill this one in dead easy. It's kind of wonder if we'll fill in one of the smaller time frame gaps. You know, the 24-hour gap is like, you know, a fait accompli basically already. Give it a second. Give it like 5 seconds. Well, while we wait for this to fill this gap in here, I reckon female comedians in America are the funniest of the female comedians around the English-speaking world. Now, I don't know about other countries. You've got them. We've got some pretty good funny comedians here in Scotland, female ones. But I reckon in terms of like, you know, getting comedy, in the way that I see it. I think America's got the best ones. Anyway, Sarah's no exception to that rule. Right, nice one. So I'll stick your alerts back over there where I can see them a bit better, just a wee bit better. Right. So other ones though of interest, right? Let's go check out. Let's go do a wee talk, right? We talk here for a second in terms we look over at things that are good in elsewhere in the world, if one could speak properly. We've got the potential for us to have gaps on smaller time frames, right? So jump down to a 15-minute time frame here. You can see we've got the gaps on here. And this is the question really for the opening range of today on the stockies like that. Right, so there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. So we're looking around at this now. What have we got elsewhere? Newegg, unless it jumped a billion miles away, looks like it's just having a. Where is it? Yeah. Where is Newegg? Did my phone just go? 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen. Price mover. We got the price movers coming in my alerts on my phone. Dow. The Dow. Intel rises on plans to spin off blah blah blah. You know, it's like they talk about Intel rising on plans to spin off, right? So let's go look at Intel, right? Intel. Well, no, this isn't what I want. Intel. I want actual Intel. This one, right, big gappy here. Now this is going to be this is a big one for us. Question mark. Will this drop a blood on our faces? Why Intel shares are rising today, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have to realize, right, news is bullshit. So and apologies to the land of swear filter people. I think I should get away with that one though. News is pretty rubbish, right? You know, we're talking about the size of a company like Intel. How many employees does Intel have? 110,600 employees, right? A company the size of Intel. We're not, joking around here. I'm not making up some random crap point. Mobile Eye raised a statement stating that the company, with the full support of Intel's board, would go public in the United States with the middle of 2022 touted as a possible timeline. The move will create a separate public company, though Intel will continue as a majority shareholder and strategic partner. Intel acquisition of Mobileye has been a great success, Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger said. Amnon said, Amnon and I determined we wanted to know who he was called, but he was determined to remain Amnon. And I determined that I IPO provides the best opportunity to build a Mobileye's track record for innovation and unlock value for shareholders. So it bought this company 4 years ago, and now it plans to ditch it. Having now it's like, oh, it's 9% higher today. So, reality is this phrase is a complete bullshit. Intel shares traded 9% higher. Well, they traded, they traded. So the implications of that is it's all like, yo, get your Intel. Oh, you want some Intel? Here's some Intel. Oh, you want some Intel? Here's some Intel. And then I have some Intel. You want it? You can have it. Oh, I'll have it. Lots of trading. How much do you want for Intel? I'll give you $5 for your Intel. No, I'll give you $55 for your Intel. Oh, there we go. There's a bargain. Trading, lots of trading. When in fact, really, it just opened up there and ditched down. It is trading up though. It is trading here. It is. I mean, I don't want. It's been a couple of minutes now, so might as well give it credit. It's had 5 minutes. It has been trading here. But when the news comes out pre-market telling you that something's trading at a certain price, it's a bit like, eh. Anyway, who would have known of the 110,000 employees in Intel? How many of them work for Mobileye? How many of them are there? How many? Maybe I need to ask the question here. 2,100. So anyway, obviously, of the 110,000 employees at Intel and the 2,100 of them working at Mobileye, they're able to somehow keep the plans of the board all completely wrapped up and away from everybody. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew anything about that at all. Nobody knew anything about that at all, or that impact that it would have. Of course. Right, so anyway, that's that one. Just wanted to kind of make a point about the news being kind of, a little bit late to the party usually. It tells you why the shares have moved up, but of course, when the shares moved up, the implication at that point is, well, are they going to drop back down again? That's the kind of movements in markets, right? And that's that. So there's our intro to the show done. Feel pretty good about market open section. I'll just jump back over to the Jimmy. Jimmy doing really well here at $176, right? We've got a target up here. We've been speaking about 178, so we're only $2 away from that. It's a bit of a surprise to be there, so soon, and to not have spent time down here at all, relatively. It's a little bit, not that much of a surprise. I mean, looked at markets long enough to not really. I'm just kind of putting a sentence together, trying to construct a sentence over here, and I'm choosing to use the word surprise and regretting it halfway through. It's interesting to note that, and there we go, that's a bit better. So we have had this slight turnaround in terms of the direction of these moving averages, which was one of the things we were talking about in yesterday's show. And the implications at the minute are that, if we were to come back down and retest these areas, we'd have support of those moving averages, etc. That's slightly different to anywhere that we've been since, of course, we were actually trending towards the top side. So we look back over here, we can see 250 up there. We were obviously above those moving averages. You can see this white line here. Just make it really obvious for people. So obviously prices are higher. They're above that white line there, so just to be clear. And then all the way down here, as you can see, prices were not above that, with the exception of this day over here, which then obviously sank all the way back down. So when we're looking at the day to day here, welcome to the day to day. Then the question obviously becomes, like, how will we be? How will we be? Are we going to experience red candles, which bring us back down below this line again, as we have done on all the other occasions that we've come out? Or are we actually experiencing something which is potentially a breakout? It's so lovely to be here talking about the potential for this to be going towards the top side right now, having told people back when it was at $250 that it was going to probably go to 171, and having scoped this out the entire way along here and everything having worked perfectly along that front. But, you know, to be honest, there is a good degree of sort of blowing sitting around on this chart here is, you know, it's great and everything that I can do that with the audience, but the audience already knows that, a majority of them are already here, already know everything that took us down here, and, you know, just how good the quality of the TA was. So there's a degree of kind of, you know, sitting around here resting on our laurels by just looking at GME in a sense. Anyway, I'm bringing this one up onto the 3-minute time frame. I love a bit of 3-minute time frame action here. And what about we take a quick kind of give me a line, give me a line after I push the button, please. This we don't need all these scribbles on the chart. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. But that horizontal line that I've pooped onto the chart there is in the wrong place. First off, in the wrong place. Secondly, it's at this flash area. Flash areas like this, which haven't been hit, tend to get hit a couple of times. Come back down here and filling in this gap would be doing that. The pain. Why talk like this, Rocky? Why talk like this? Okay, fair enough. Screw it. Yeah, fair enough, right? This little bit of consolidation that we're doing here right now is clearly above the 236 if I were to measure it at Fibonacci. And yeah, we can absolutely anticipate continuation. Continuation is the name of the game in trading after all. So let's just go for continuation at the minute. I guess this is kind of the conversation which is happening in the markets itself. You can see the way that I've kind of gone and how I've been talking about this one so far today, and that's exactly what's happening in the markets right now as well. So it's like it's like, where are we going? Maybe we get to go up more. Who knows? Let's just see then what happens. So we'll not indulge too much in this one, but I'll leave it up in the background. It'll be enjoyable as I catch up with the chat. Replacing the news on here with the chat. Actually, before I replace the news on here with the chat, let's just take up the news here with you know, what have we got in terms of news today? Wall Street bets stocks point higher at pre-market Tuesday. Intel soars on units IPO plans. Well, we've kind of covered that news already. That's pretty nifty. Wall Street bets stocks point higher pre-market Tuesday. Do up 3%. Alibaba, is that a stock? Is that a stock market? Is that a Wall Street Bets one? Is it? I don't read Wall Street Bets, by the way. For everybody out there, if you are involved in Wall Street Bets type places, Reddit and whatever else, if you were to spread my, you know, this channel with people who look at stocks and stuff, tell them about it, that'd be really, really appreciated, because I don't go on Reddit at all. I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure that there's some people who do here. Just tell people about their different stocks they trade. So Alibaba is one of them, is it? Anyway, BlackBerry, Context Logic. Nobody asked me to take a look at Alibaba on the show ever. BlackBerry, it's completely fallen out of love. Nobody really loves that. So nobody's asked me to take a look at that in months now. Context Logic, Wish, right? Is that what that is? Context Logic. I don't know. Nobody's ever asked me to. Oh, some people, maybe once. No, I don't think so though. Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. Now, for people to say that that's something of a Wall Street Bets type stock, I don't know. Is it? It's like it's been a popular one for traders for a long time. Good one. Anyway, that's another one. Digital World Acquisition Corp. Now, that I don't think Wall Street Bets. I don't think that in terms of a segment of society or whatever is the one to put on that. That's obviously clearly a politicized stock. It's politicized. It's not like Redditicized or whatever. It's not apicized. It's politicized. So anyway, there's some news. I don't know how much we put in that. Like I say, the news is bullshit. 3 meme stocks Wall Street predicts will continue to fall. Okay, so Tesla is apparently a meme stock, is it? I don't know, right? Great, cool. 3 stocks a double issue. What's the point in the word meme stock anymore? They've completely destroyed it. Jamie was right when he said they're not meme stocks, they're weak spots, and they are, but there's only but you know, there's a weak spot and the rest of it really just frankly isn't. Tesla's not some weak spot in the economy. AMC's not some weak spot in the economy, not really. So like the GME kind of is. is that AMC has the potential to be one. It's just it's massively undermined consistently by the board and by the majority of people who make content on it, etc. So it's a bit of a problem on that front. But obviously, you know, it has the potential to squeeze millions of shareholders out there around the world. You know, Jackson Hunter did a thing called Log the Float, and he found that that of the sort of 7,000 or something like that people that put up data about it, that on average they held 200 shares, I think, which meant that if that was an average that could be extrapolated across the entire AMC shareholders, you know, amount, knowing that many more people hold, you know, lots more out there in the world individually, then you know, maybe what we're seeing when we see that there's a couple of million shareholders is that there's many times the float is owned by shareholders, and we're yet to see these potential things play out. AMC does have a lot of interest about it. I'm not, is BBBY and BlackBerry and whatnot got any of that? Are people really talking about how, you know, the place they bought their soap dish, their first soap dish, I'm going to hold on to that stock forever? Are they? Are people talking about? Are really, you know, me and Bam Bam and Jamma have had a chat once or twice, laughed about the BlackBerry and the rollerball thing and nostalgia about that. Is that what people? Anyway, as you can see here, this is still ongoing with the prices consolidating right now in the background, so it's not like it's a big deal. I'm taking some time to look at the news, by the way. Social Buzz, Wall Street Box, we did that one. What are the whales doing with GameStop? Okay, yeah, what are the whales doing with GameStop? Bazinga. I hate everything Bazinga put out. Almost. You can see I'm quite a skeptic and quite a cynic, but, you know, things like this and all of them, every single one of them, it's constant noise. Sometimes you find something which is interesting, but it's based on the individual, you know? It's on the individual, and whether that individual's done a good work or not on particular things. Most of it's complete tripe. As we can talk about if we get around to talk about the 3333 and Evergrande and news on that front and how it's reported and everything else. Anyway, yeah, Bazinga. People love Bazinga. Right, whatever, who cares? And retail traders should know, we noticed this today when the big options showed up on publicly available options history that we track here at Bazinga. Whether this is institution or just wealthy individual, we don't know. But when something this big happens with GME, what big? Tell us. It often means somebody knows something. How do we know this about? So today, Bazinga options scanner spotted 11 uncommon options trades for GameStop. It's not normal. Overall sentiment of these big money traders is split between bullish and bearish. Out of all the special options we uncovered, 6 are puts for a total amount of 200 million, and 5 are calls for a total amount of 300 million. What's the price target? One minute. Why are they reporting? Why are they? See, this is what I mean about this being shite, right? So I mean, I've not finished this article. Do I finish this article or not? I wonder. I would take a canvas the audience opinion about it, but I'll just do whatever I feel like. Today, Bazinga's option scanner spotted 11 uncommon options trades for GameStop. It's not normal. The overall sentiment of these big money traders is split between the 18% bullish and 81% bearish. 81%. Right. So what are they doing here? They're making an assumption that these 11 uncommon options trades were done by 11 different individuals with different motivations, right? And they're calling them big money traders and saying that 18% bullish and 81.82% are bearish. And then it looks at the value of them and it's like, all right, so there's 200 million are bearish, which obviously accounts for 18%. Accounts for 81.282%. So presumably when I get around to reading the bullish number, then it's going to be, you know, fractions, just fraction of this, like literally like a fifth of this number here. So let's just see. Oh wait, it's 100 million more. That's right, it's 50% bigger than the other one. Oh yeah, this article, yeah, this is really well done. Thanks for writing this. This is really good. I'm glad that this appears as news. So what's the price target? Taking into account the volume and open interest in these contracts, it appears that whales have been targeting a price range from $120 to $950, which is really useful, over the last 3 months. Oh, that's what they're looking at over the last 3 months, somewhere between 120 or 950. Really useful stuff here from them. Let's just get a bit deeper, get a bit more detail since this is so good. I've got a super chat coming in here. I'll just check that to see that it's not somebody telling me to shut up or something. All my homies hate Benzinga. Ah, there we are. Good one. Nice one. Good. So I don't need to shut up. They're idiots, aren't they? Thanks for that, Daniel. Taking into account volume and open interest in these contracts appears. Yeah. Looking at the volume and open interest is a powerful move while trading options. Yeah, man. It's such a powerful move to look at open interest in that. It's really powerful because it allows you to know things like how you could trade it, from 120 to 950. Tells you things like how, you got 18% bullish, 82% bearish, 35% of the money gone towards the bearish side, and 65% towards the bullish side, representing that 80-18 split there between those big money traders. Respectively, GameStop's trades with straight price, blah blah blah, options, blah blah blah. Here's a table, right? Here's a table. So this is a powerful stuff. So I hope you're getting all the detail. Look, right? I hope you're getting all of the value of this article that you can get out of it, because it's powerful. It's powerful. This is looking at this is a powerful move, guys. Look at this is a powerful move. This is a powerful news. This news article is a powerful move, and we're going to know exactly what to do as a result of reading this. So I hope you're paying attention. Just looking through this. Oh, that was a good table. Good table. So, with a volume of 131677 and the price of GME down 452 at 164, RSI indicates that the hint underlying stock may be approaching oversold. Oh, RSI indicators hint the underlying stock may be approaching oversold. Next earnings are expected to be released in 2 days. Oh, options are a riskier asset compared to just trading the stock. Oh, but it's powerful though. But they have higher profit potential. Serious options traders manage this risk by educating themselves daily. Yeah, scaling in and out of trades, following more than one indicator, following the markets closely. If you're already an options trader, you'd like to get started, head on over to Bazinga Pro. And can you imagine when they're giving you this information for free and how amazing it is? I mean, it is. Looking at volume and open interest is such a powerful move, right? And they're giving you this information which is for free. It's really helpful. And now that we know the range, now that we've got a good handle on the $830 range that they identified on this potential stock, that they've got a handle on that nicely for us, so we could get up-to-date news. That would be maybe better than this other stuff. I don't know, who knows. Anyway, that's what's been happening in the background. It's time for me to catch up with chat and see how things have been going on, and if anybody is alive. Is it going to update? IREM, I still consider people who do that sociopaths or stupid. Not even. They are told what to write. Ooh, what's going on over here? Part of the job's description. Ooh, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on in the chat? Hey, observe thyself, putting my face in there like a legend. Basper Bilbo, hiya, how you doing? How's things going on in the Shire? Apple Blossom, Space Banana. I do that sometimes too. Makes Rocky sound so slow on regular speed. Yeah, regular speed, screw regular speed. Ha! Yeah, amp it up. Hydration check, everyone. Cheers, Banana Fridge. Excellent. Get on with it, guys. And girls. Do we will make me a shit ton of money, not financial advice, says Darth Truster. Good stuff, the Truster. Excellent. We'll check in on that DWAC, shall we? ANC is the top 10 whole stocks across generations, I believe. Yeah, right. Great. Exactly. So the numbers that Jackson Hunter were putting out were pretty good numbers, right? So I mean, the potential for a squeeze there, absolutely possible. Could totally squeeze this thing. Maybe as well, then, that helps to have ripples across the economy and changes the legislative process to be more geared towards transparency and stuff. Maybe I would say that it's got a really strong potential to increase the velocity of the work that the likes of Gary Gensler, etc., are doing at the minute to push towards a better fulfillment and clearing basis system for us. Does it have the potential if we squeeze it so much that it can actually can go to the high thousands, etc., per share? Then yeah, it really does have potential to change the world. Really does have potential to change the world, but I don't think so much that then that has a lasting legacy for AMC itself necessarily, or that it necessarily all comes from a point of doing, of it being belief against this. I don't know. Well, no, AMC is pretty good. No, see, the thing about it is AMC is good, and the majority of people that do the whole thing are good and hold it are good, and I really appreciate everything in the community. It's just that you've got people who that make content on about it regularly trade it, and it undermines the content that they're making. They're the biggest content people there, and they're gatekeepers on it. So it's a bit like weird, right? So it's got a really weird aspect to it. It's kind of clique aspect to it, which is really weird given that it's so much bigger than the GameStop type one, right? I mean, and please enlighten me if I'm wrong. I'd rather be wrong and enlightened than live in this world of thinking what's going on here. Combined with the fact that the board of directors of the company seem to be so awful, and that the company itself seems to be run quite badly, all the way down, right? So these things are problems, right? But they're not being mentioned at the minute, which is weird. Anyway, right, great, cool, nice one. Also, they've not really changed their business model. And they've also got no ability to leverage their share price in order to pay off their debts or anything like that either. So that's a bit of a problem. Really enjoying the trading course. If you had to guess how many shares of GME held by retail, if I had to guess, it'd be, I don't know. Really, honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. There's no way for me to know. I don't know. I like it when other people do it. I entertain that and everything else. But for me, I don't know. Right? I don't know. Cool. Like, I mean, if we say that there's a in terms of the float, how many times the float is held by retail, etc., then anything above like 140% is like serious problems, and that's all that really needs to be in terms of long term. But really, it's if you're talking about holding and everything else, then as we know, the SEC and the way that the legislators work about this is along this basis, right? And we know this. It's been talked about loads and loads and loads and loads. It's why Kenny and all the rest of it are so happy with everything, with the way that the world went, and how it worked out for them. They're so happy with it, and they think when they talk about it, it's totally perfectly fine and normal. And it's why as well you've got the likes of Patrick Boyle out there who talk about it like it's totally fine and normal, and everything else is fine. Like people out there in the world that talk about this thing as if it's perfectly normal and correct. The way that this happened up here with them changing the rules for so that they wouldn't have a problem with Robinhood, which would have been a systemic issue with Citadel, etc. as well, and they would have caused real big problems all at the time that Melvin had problems, and it was like systemic, right? So because Melvin had done its thing, then that made Robinhood do its thing, which was making Citadel do another thing, and they were going and they're saying, look, we've got systemic failure potential here for us off the back of this thing, and we really need to stop that. So they broke the rules, and that's the way that they do things, right? So America's corrupt and breaks the rules to suit the issues of the day at the time, and we see it every year anyway. It's the debt ceiling, it's the circus of the American law. Not this. I love America, I love everything else, but I think it's fair to say that everybody knows that your chances of going to jail or staying out of jail are directly proportional to the amount of money that you've got in America, and that's the American legal system, etc. Essentially, all the way up from no matter what crime you do, etc. So all this sort of stuff, we know this, right? We know that that's the way it is, and that's the way that the world works. So anyway, anything over 140% is obviously a real problem, and all that in terms of the things. But we need people to hold it for a long period of time, because they also, in terms of the way that the world works, is that they know that that they can get a few days here, if to sort things out over a period of a few days, but things are bad on the Monday, let's make them good by Friday. We can just do this, it's all good. And and when you say held by retail, it's like, well, how many were held here and how many were actually ditched there, etc., and so on and so forth at the time? Possibly not many, possibly tons, possibly. And it's like, it's about how many are held by retail. It's like, how many are held by retail when? when is it, how many are held by retail. We know that they can break the rules, and we know that they can do it for a few days and get away with it with complete impunity. And we also know that retail doesn't tend to actually hold things all that long necessarily. Traditionally, though, in markets, is the move of institutions is to leave it so that retailer left holding the bag, and that's how you do things. So this is the way to do things. It's officially the way to do things. So, the assumption here is that retail are holding, and that at those high moments that retail wouldn't be selling. It's just that I don't know. I really, honestly, I just don't know, man. I don't know. But that's just the way it is. It's actually, when we think that it's maybe depressing, it isn't. It is and isn't. It is and isn't. It's not. It's but we know that America's financial system is corrupt. It's what we're talking about here. It's no big deal. I mean, there's corruption all around the world. America's financial system is probably one of the least corrupt systems in the world, right? Which is a very, very good thing, and it's quite possibly the least corrupt financial system in the world. Okay, so just to be very clear on this, that I didn't say that America was somehow like lower down the list than a whole bunch of other places based on corruption, etc. No, it's America's really, 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 really good, clean, solid system compared to the world. And in terms of the movement towards like better systems, America is also like up there leading that. Don't be Britain, we're the biggest money laundering country in the world. Come to Britain, use the pound, the Great British Pound, and buy your houses in cash. It's what we're set up to do here. So it's just, it's okay. If anyone signed up to the course but doesn't have access to the course rooms and Discord, then message me. If you don't have Discord, then join Rocky's Discord at discord.gg/RockyOutcrop. I'm going to pin this comment for the next wee while. I meant to talk about this earlier on. Thanks so much to Lisa Ann for getting in touch with me, and thanks to anybody else who has been trying to reach out and help other people who are in the course who don't know who to get in touch with, that haven't been able to get access. It's quite simple. What you do is you go to discord.gg. I spoke about this in yesterday's show, so hopefully some people have found out since then, and hopefully as well more will when I'm saying it now. discord.gg/RockyOutcrop on your browser, right? That'll take you to the public side of our Discord, the Rocky Outcropticians one, okay? Then within that, you just need to get in touch with Christy Callahan. You can get in touch with myself, and you can get in touch with, just the people there, and talk to people, because people know who's who and everything, and they'll help you out. And somebody will get you hooked up with the role that you need to get into the course rooms. It's called a role. What happens is that you join and you've got no role in the group, and you only have access to very limited rooms. But if you had different roles, like student, then you'd have access to different rooms, like the education room, right? Cool. So nice one. That's what you want to do. We'll hold on and make the financial system change its wrongs. That's right. We'll hodl on. That's it, man. We want to do that. Brilliant, lovely. Thanks. Nice little kind of adjustment to that line in that song. Anyway, so we've had time to chat here, right? Opening range of today's price action is this, right? In a sense, you've got two opening ranges. You got this opening range, and then you got this, which includes the deep black emptiness of space there in between. So we obviously know that we obviously know what we know here is that this is the opening range, right? We also can see this is kind of tightening here. If this was a crypto market, it would have a big candle that went up there. It'd just be like but it doesn't. It's because it's not open 24 hours a day. So this is up here. Do we need to is this the lack of liquidity that took us up here going to be an issue? Do we need to go back down and kind of interact with this line here, this white line, which is where in the 3-minute time frame we had a flash that wasn't properly filled in? Do we or do we not? And that's what's going on there with that one. If anybody wants to take a look at anything else, give me a shout. Let's just bring up the Bitcoin USDT chart. You can see here that of course we're looking to get back in at 51,000. Oh, lovely. Nice little move here. Parabolic run happening right here. It's ripping towards the top side right here, right now, which is excellent to see. And then, of course, what we're actually going to do is anticipate this coming back down to 51,300, 51,137, right? So we can leave that up there. I suppose that's something that's a bit more exciting. It's on the screen there. Something happening. It's different. It gives us something to talk about. And it is also a good example potentially of that flash. So let's just remove our, let's just check that we've got our Fibonacci and everything else in the right spots, etc. Yes, and it does seem to be the case. So just going back down to that 3-minute time frame then and bringing it up. Here we have it, 3-minute time frame, and this can sit here in the background. Let's check out the news headlines. Bitcoin whales. Now, do we expect this to do this immediately, etc.? No, no, no. You need to do some technical analysis, whatever else, but Bitcoin whales bought 3 point, but nobody asked me to come here and look at this, and nobody's looking for technical analysis, and I came here to see this, and here it is with this flash, and that's really entertaining and interesting. Bitcoin whales bought 3.3 billion Bitcoin in 3 days. Well done to them. Does Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez own any Bitcoin or other crypto? Here's what she has to say. I don't give two shits. Bitcoin whales bought about almost 3.5 billion during the crash to 42k. Sure, whatever. Grayscale more than 25% of. Oh, by the way, did you know the actual news on this is that $2 billion of this Bitcoin whales bought almost 3.5 billion. They bought it, right? So what's that headline say to you? You've got Bitcoin whales, they're looking at the prices, and they're thinking to themselves, oh, they're dropping down here. Where's the 42k? They're dropping down. Oh, the Bitcoin whales are like looking at this going, oh yes, the prices are dropping down here. Let's begin buying this stuff. No, actually, the news headline today, which they're kind of mixing up here, is that during these periods where people where this was happening, and they're not going to explain it properly, where this was happening here, for example, this bit here, exactly this here, and you can see it on the charts itself, right? You can see it on the charts itself. This here, okay, was 2 billion of liquidations that happened in at this point here. That's the actual news, right? Now, this isn't just on this chart. This is just one chart. This is just Binance or something like that. There's dozens of these out there. But the news today, if you're listening to some of the sort of news, if you ask your Google thing, hey, Google, what's the news or whatever, that'll come up as part of it at the end. When Ambo outside, it's been a while since we've heard one of them due to the roadworks. Right, so they only go here when it's a real emergency, so it makes me think when I hear the sirens outside, I hope the person's okay. Right, so so here we have, this is the news story, right? So anyway, the headline they've got here is that whales bought almost 3.5 billion during the crash to 42k, and sure they did, they bought almost 3.5 billion, but what happened is that $2 billion were liquidated, and for every sell there's a buy, and that means that people had gone long, then they were forced to sell, and they were forced to sell to whom? And it's mostly exchanges and people, big manipulators, Grayscale and the likes of that go out and manipulate the Bitcoin prices, or the likes of Sailor or Elon, or anybody else who's out there who's proactive, trying to, right, Raoul Paul, for example, you know, all these people who proactively try on a daily basis to manipulate the Bitcoin price. Now, they would have been buying it, but the majority of it, as in 2 of the 3.5 billion, well, that happened through, that was exchanges buying it, essentially market makers buying it. So there's literally no value in this headline. Okay, there's no value in this headline whatsoever, because it's completely unconsidered. And the next article, Grayscale, more than 25% of surveyed US investors own Bitcoin. So what Grayscale, who would have been part of the manipulation and the buying of it, etc., put out as their news is that 25% of US investors own Bitcoin. And then over here, it's like they're talking about it as if it's disparate, if it's spread out, decentralized, that it was a massive movement of, you know, whales coming in and buying it because the prices were low. And you can see quite clearly the obvious manipulation path of the news of retail when you look at it. If you're like super cynical or whatever, you know, I don't know. I think that whenever I explain it like this, it's quite obvious. But if I were to listen to anybody else do it, I'd be like, God, that person's going to be all over the place. Well, nut job. So so I do admit that there's probably a degree of hypocrisy in the way that I talk about this here, that I wouldn't be able to listen to anybody else do this type of thing without just like turning off. I have to admit. But there you go. FTX overtakes Binance and Bitcoin futures OI open interest as price reclaims 50k. So FTX overtakes Binance and Bitcoin futures open interest. So FTX, Grayscale, they're the ones that are buying it. Binance, right? Yeah, Coinbase, they're the ones that did the 2 billion. They did it through liquidations. And how can they do that? Well, if they know, if the exchanges themselves know, and whatever, that if FTX and Binance are the ones that manage your positions and have it there for you, they know, you know, where you'd be liquidated at if the prices were to push down. They can easily pull up a figure on their computers that says, well, if the price of Bitcoin were to go to 42K, right? No, sorry, if the price of Bitcoin were to go to 47K, liquidations would start occurring that would put it so that all the price needed to do would be to go an extra couple of percent for a cascade of liquidations to happen. So what I'll do is I'll sell the price down to 47K or something myself, right? Then whenever it hits that and some liquidations start happening, I'll pile in some more sells, push it even more, it'll hit 42K. And I can work this out in advance. I can know that this is the depth of the order book. This is the depth of the open interest at the minute. And I can see the positions there, right? This is the fact. This is what happens. This is the facts of what happens, right? And so then they push the price to that point, and then it drops that much further down to where they've put in all of their buys to be able to push the price back up there. But they're not actually pushing the price back up. They're absorbing the downward descent. So it's not a rise, it's the absorption of the downward. And then afterwards it can rise back up on relatively no volume. No volume here. And what do we see? The price is rising back up. So they get to be able to make money off the back of this 2 billion for free. They don't even have to spend any money to start making that money, right? So obviously they profited on the way down, they profit on the way up. And that's how this works, and that's what happens. And that's when people say we should regulate the markets, like, oh yeah, we should regulate markets, and we should do what? We should have people like Citadel coming in here and managing this for us. Should we have Citadel? Because we could trust Citadel more than we could trust Coinbase and Binance and FTX, can we? No. At the minute, at least we're lucky in the sense that we can measure this shit out, and we know where the prices are liable to go, because it's off the back of these decisions that they make that determines where they're most likely to then take profit at over a period of time, because they don't proactively manage these systems themselves. Instead, they use algorithms and that to do this sort of thing for them, for a part, and have a trading desk which use rules to operate on as well, like we use rules. So all we have to do is be in synchronization with these people, and of course we're doing exactly the same job. So anybody that bought it in at this period at all was part of that $2 billion and part of that manipulation, and well done to you. And then you've ridden it up here since, and you're part of that, well done to you. And then there's also this indicator that I've invented which can show you insights into where the markets are most likely to move at any given time, based off of sort of factors that kind of, you know, show that type of action on the charts themselves with regards to how the prices have been moving. I mean, you can imagine, right, if somebody's buying, selling, and it's happening in a particular way and over a particular period of time, it might create a particular condition on the charts, which could then maybe be where that they would all be able to kind of blind feel out themselves where the prices are most likely to go to, so that they can operate in synchronization, and of course whales swimming together, you know. So here we have it, and that's one of them in there at 51,137. Let's just see what the chat's saying at the minute, and if anybody's asked me for anything or any of that, I've missed out on any of these things. Really enjoying trading course, cool. I've had to get 70 shares, Jamie, held by retail, so I don't know the answer to that, Komodosh, but cheers for that anyway. And thanks for your tips yesterday, it was appreciated, and thanks for the trading course feedback. Thanks to everybody for being a part of all this. Crypto donations for the new show can be done by here. I'll just pin that one for a bit. Great, nice one, Christy, you're such a legend. Frog Lord, good to see you, pal. You made any music recently? I don't mean to make you feel bad, man, just try it sometime. You've got the likes of Brady Pearl and stuff in here, different types of music, right? But you've got very different, but you've got you know, there's creative influences around here, and I hope that you're getting back on the frog horse, and maybe if you have done, then good stuff, right? Rocky Outcrop, can we check out SHIB USD today, por favor? Wondering if the downtrend might break soon. Okay, Jeffrey, what does por favor mean? Remind me. I'll go check a look. Katie, yeah, the downside still seems strong in the minute. Just want to see it build a good support before entry, but it's one to keep an eye on. Oh, what's one to keep an eye on? Do 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 Right, not enough time for that. So Apple Blossom, Lambo Death accepted. Lol, great. KT of Chukka, I heard they take a Lambo too. Ooh, excellent. Like streams, I did a Wu-Tang remix. Lol, quality, excellent stuff. Nice to see it. Frog Lord, love it, man. Can check that out at some point. Winky Wonky Donkey, thank you for doing AMC yesterday. Although we didn't ask, I'm asking now though, good sir, and I appreciate it in advance. We'll check it out. Somebody actually asked me to take a look at something there as well. So we've got Shibasta, and we've got AMC being asked for. GME and or AMC, please. Higher volume today, and green. Okay, cool. FGR Pilot, nice one. So we've got a couple of people asking for AMC. That's cool. Rocket Crop, almost a tune. Hey, good day and good on you. Did I not just do that a minute ago? I had it in the back of my head. If I didn't do it a minute ago, then well, I don't know. It's my own sort of brand of schizo, I guess. I was in the back of my head. I was humming the whole time I was talking there. Right. So yeah. Right. Hello, Rocky. Can you check Aether, please? Right. So we've got some requests. Here's Aether, real quick. What's been going on? Nice rise up here, but is it flattering to deceive? It seems to be heading towards one of our upward sloping targets. What does that mean for us? Oh, that's just a harmonic. Oh, the harmonic didn't work out on that sense. Right. Great. Need to go to a bigger time frame. I will check out the other ones you asked for in a second. Shib, for example, as well. Let's just take a quick look at Aether just now here. Oh, we're still within this wedge, essentially. We pushed a little bit outside of it, back into it again. Is it an angular problem? Could be an angular problem. There you go. There's it, kind of got touches and all nice, and it's all nice everywhere. We're coming up towards the top end of that right now, actually. So yeah, this is where people will be taking profits at. This is an inflection point to be anticipated. Can we actually bust out of this zone? Well, it is totally possible. Yeah, it's totally possible. I'm going to just ditch this. Well, I don't need to ditch it. Sure, that's probably fine anyway. What number is that? 994. Nah, what harmonic is? Wait, it's very deep. I mean, it's not broken anything. Where did that come up to in the middle? What number is that? 3. Yeah, anyway, who cares, right? Just right, who cares about that? We're miles. We need to actually see this thing get to turn around. We could be in a C point of a harmonic. That's fine. So we know that anyway. We know that anyway by virtue of the fact that we've not taken out this low. You know, sometimes it's as simple as it really needs to be. So that's where we are. Right. Anyway, so yeah, so this could easily push outside of this zone. However, it could very, very easily just go back down again, because this is the point at which things have turned around at in the past. As you can see here, whether it was market opens or during trading sessions, when we've come up towards this, we've come up towards highs recently, we've seen the prices then be able to push above them and then drop back down again. So let's see if we're doing anything a little bit different. We're looking for a bit of bullish divergence between these two lows, maybe having not seen it on the previous ones. Is that the case there? Here we didn't have bullish divergence. Here we didn't have bullish divergence. Now we do have bullish divergence. Okay, so yeah, this is here. Once, twice, and 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So now we've eventually got to the point where we've had 3 points of bullish divergence, right? So now we're at a point where we could like start to get more positive. Oh, this, I was going to remove it, but this is what it boils down to. Give me one higher high, please. Just give me one. Like, this is all lower lows all along the way. So can we get one higher high, please? Yeah, move up above 570, etc. Well, actually $6 is what we need to be above to be, like, you know, able to say things are slightly different. Let's be reals here. This is in chop territory in terms of the oscillators. Now we do just have a slight cross here. You know, a slight cross. A cross is a cross is a cross is a cross, is it not? Anyway, we've had a cross here, and that's good, but we've not done anything yet. You know, it still sucks. We're at the 50, you know, or the neutral line on the RSI. And we've got the bullish divergence, but we've not done anything yet, and that's why I'm saying give me one higher high, please. Yes, we could have the potential turnaround when we do trade. You know, the range on this one could be anything that operates. That's 920 there, and that's 7 bucks, let's call it, right? So you could be looking at sort of 5 to 12. You could be looking up to 12, coming back up to these highs. That'd be a really nice move. This logarithmic, yeah, that'd be a really nice move for us to enjoy if we were to get that chance. That could happen. We could enjoy that. That could absolutely happen for us. So let's just be aware of the market structure here, buddy. You know, while we're below 560, it's very, very dodgy. While we're below $6, it's easily could just turn around and keep doing what it has been doing for a long, long time. I'm much more positive about this than I was before, right? Much more positive about this now than I was last week. Okay, so this is kind of in a lot of senses what we've been waiting for. I'm more positive on this in the terms that I'll never give up on the idea of it is what it is until it is what it isn't. That's very clear, and that is the number one rule of trading. But then you've got like the divergences here starting to show us that things could be good, and there's not that hidden bearish divergence to give us a little kick in the teeth right here with these movements that we've had so far. So we do have the opportunity to push up and maybe not fail. Corey asks for SHIB USDT. Here we have this one having done potentially what we said it was going to do. This arrow points right down to the low that came down here. Is that coincidental or not? There is a degree of not coincidence about this. Now, I don't know how I'm going to find it for you dead easy, but we know in the past that I talked about the flashes on the charts here and how we anticipated moves back down to the 20s on this one. Yes, the 20s. The low, as we can see here, is actually as well was down here at, what was that, 0.0, all the zeros, 2952. So we'd previously been up at all the zeros 8, all the zeros 8, 9, stuff like that. What was that up there? That was 53. But if I go to the 24-hour time frame, you can see we were as high as 8121. Now we've come all the way back down to 2992. This is a logarithmic chart, linear chart showing you, just the sheer cascade of this thing. And there was a flash somewhere in these zones. Now, have we done it? Have we done enough? Both of those questions, I think, have they got the same sort of answer? Oh shit, it's covering up my face. Sorry for being dark. Come back. Both those answers both those questions got the same sort of answer, that we're looking towards it being we're asking has it done it, no, both those questions being, has it already done it enough, satisfied that nice way of saying that, with that movement down towards here. Well, let's not forget the number one rule. It is what it is until it is what it isn't. There is the slight hope for us in terms of this liquidity swap that's visible in the charts here. Really big move up, really big move down. But it could also be that this has happened at a point where the decision has come in for some people along the way there to just relinquish their positions and let things slide. And that it could happen that it comes back up. So if we look at from the sorry, just not being so super clear there. If we look at this from the major low down here at tons more zeros, up to the high here at tons of zeros, then 8, then we've gone past the 236. The 236 was at this price point just here, so that was at around about the 45 area. And when we didn't keep that, that was very, very bad. Then what happened is we went pushed up past it and down again. So we pushed up past this and down again, right? And it was this movement here, which is like which is kind of scary in a sense, right? Which is kind of scary, but it could also be good sign. It could be a good sign. We need to take out the 236. So take out the 236 again. Great, good sign. This all lines up to be a good sign. Fail and move down the way. Bad sign. All lines up to be a bad sign. A BAMFD bad sign. So just scrolling back down the way and seeing then where we stand with this. Here, so here is one of them. Beautiful flash fill talked about. Beautiful flash fill, right? So this is I wasn't actually 100%, but it did 90%. I mean, this is insane. Like, this indicator, $100 a month, right? And we were talking about it up here at the 80s, and that's insane. It does seem insane, doesn't it? It does seem insane. You can go back and maybe you can't, I don't know, it's too much like hard work anyway. Nobody's going to. You might come across a video if you happen to watch some of my old ones where we're talking about this, and it's insane, right? But there you have it, and it's pretty much happened. At least you got 90% of the move towards it. More than the more than you needed to get the sorry, that's the wrong way around. I've drawn that in. The 886, which is in here. Yeah, we pushed on past that, so we went 90 something percent of the move towards the downside. I mean, fantastic. So, but have we done it or not yet? That's the problem, because if this is a big whale deciding to just get the shit out of Dodge, then you're looking at going down to ridiculously small numbers again. It already is. So so what I really want is for this to have the positive aspect of this this wick here to be positive and to not need to be retested again. However, there is the threat that we come down and do that, as we have done on some other charts. Here's .USDT, and you can see that we had the similar big ditch down in prices just here, followed by this one down the way. So you know, we haven't done that on SHIB. We didn't quite come down the full way again, you know, and if we did at this stage, it would be considered to be a failure of sorts. Now this here is good. You know, we've got the potential here for a higher high on DOT, doing something decent right now, and we're, you know, $29 testing up the way. Our next targets are going to be up there towards $37, etc. I mean, it's ridiculous. We've done really well to be starting to look like we could recover after the recent lows. However, failure and on down the way is extremely negative. We're above the 382 at the minute, but just jumping back over to SHIB USDT, because that was what was asked for, then you can see we didn't actually experience that same full girthy move down the way, which is, you know, great and everything if we're gonna be going up, you know, and all that. But also we're not quite as high as moving past our previous areas from before either, and we also haven't quite taken out the 236, never mind being above the 382. And you can see then therefore on this one, while it had movements which, you know, correspond at times with the overall movements of the market, that, you know, as well, that it's also had times where it's extremely moved on its own when the rest of the market's been moving in a different way, like this entire rise up the way. And if it decided to do a massive dump as the rest of the market was doing something else, well then that would be what it decided to do as well. And by it, what I mean is the people who actually, you know, control it. Great, let's just take a look at LRC before we go and take a look at whatever it was the other person asked for. Still pitchfork land, still the most amazing pitchfork you've ever seen in your life. I mean, I'm kidding, it's not. The most amazing pitchfork you've ever seen in your life is the Ethereum pitchfork that I drew in over a year and a half ago. It's the most amazing pitchfork you've ever seen in your life. Without a doubt in my mind, that's probably the most amazing one you've ever seen in your life. Now, whether or not everybody's seen it here or not is besides the point. There's a lot of people who have, and whether or not the people who have seen it recognize what it was at the time and understood it, even though I was talking about it, is also completely besides the point. I really don't care. It's the most amazing one you've seen, and that'll do you. Anyhow, I tell you, it's fun, and all this sort of stuff here is fun. Great, good fun, good laughs, great, good laughs. Downward movement here, you know, then downward movement here, and downward movement here, and downward movement here, downward movement here. All of them, here as well. All of them lining up quite nicely with these lines, and it's fair to say that it's just always just this sort of angle that the lines are going at. So if we are to be dropping back down again at any given time, then this is fine for us. You know, we could probably also have this drawn on here and get this, you know, just as good, but I can't be bothered with that right now. The channel, the movements, it's all just kind of the same. It's nice that it's been so walked this path so clearly. Anyway, the high down to the low here on this time frame, which is the interesting kind of this high to this low, is interesting because we're right at the 618 golden pocket. It's where this 200 simple is. This is a 3 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, better chart. Sorry, here we are. Oh, right at the price point when it's crossing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. This is a bearish cross, by the way. Rejection from here is incredibly powerful, you know, so that would be bad. Movement up from here, beautiful for being able to undo this without any pain to our systems, you know. So this death cross has happened, and and it's right at the price action, so it's a lovely opportunity to see how that one evolves out in the 4 hour time frame. Let's just put a wee circle around that and wee bit of text for me the next time I come back, so we can see how this 4-hour death cross evolves. That's what we can do there. Come back to that one. Anyway, I didn't come here for any reason. Nobody asked me to take a look at it, so I'll just bring up the chat and see what was that one that somebody else had asked. There was AMC, yeah, AMC. Okay, AMC for your movies. Sexy eyes are getting on. Rickley off to a decent start today. That's good, cool, excellent. Bill W. Buchanan, can we meet? We can meet because I've been wanting to hit up some thrift stores in Huntsville. Oh, that's cool, Huntsville. That's nice. Is there chat in there? That's awesome. Good to see you, KP. How's your day going? Now use pitchforks on things like oil. Cardano recently broke. Sad times. Ah, well, when they break, they break. It's not about. Seems awful cheap. Plus, I don't pay for data. Whatever. Chris, a short while back, I marked a flash in at $8, but maybe it's no longer relevant. Interesting. Good that you're chatting away. Good to see Chris. Chris loves an indicator as well, so he's a good man to chat about stuff. So yeah, Global Experience, my entire portfolio is up to date. Green Day, I walk a lonely road, and I'm walking on this lonely road. Oh, that's Green Day for you. I actually don't really know the words to the song. I was more of a Basket Case fan myself. Was it? Was it, man? Did I get that wrong? Christy Callan said it wasn't the 4 hour, it's the 1 hour. No, look, there's the death cross there in the 4 hour. Here's the 1 hour. And they're spread apart. Look, we could be seeing the prices of this thing going up towards 278. Great, fantastic, nice. There's all that there. But you know, let's just see if we can actually trend on past it or not. It's nice to see. Yeah, well, let's see how the 4 hour one goes. It's just out of interest. We're right at the price action here. This is 4 hour. I'll show you. I might be having a conversation with somebody else, in which case that's all gravy. There is right on it. And then there's that. I don't know though. It could be a different jobby. AMC. So have we filled in the gap on the 15-minute time frame? No, we haven't. The 15-minute time frame gap would see us coming in here to test the 50 simple moving average on the 15-minute time frame as that happens. Why is that important? Why is that important? You know, why is that important? Why is that important? Why is it important? It's, you know, it's not, well, it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. I mean, it isn't. It is and isn't. The moving averages on the larger time frames are both above us, right? On all of the the major sort of time frames until you get to something else. Are we above it on the week? Yeah, we're above it on the week, and so it's all the way up to the week, right? So this is AMC here. Bear in mind that I did the TA for this one as well yesterday. Very good TA, very good. And that I've removed most of the drawings from the chart apart from my little liquidity box in there as well, so I think that kind of, you know, probably speaks for itself to a good extent. Okay, so this is a quick TA summary for AMC for people who are trading this one. Now I say trading, but I use that word very loosely. What I really mean is this for people who are diamond handing it. For all you people out there who are trading AMC and whatever else, then fair play to you, you're allowed to do that. I'm not going to tell you that you're not, but just be aware that this is there's two things going on here with this one. There's a sort of a movement of people trying to create more transparency in the stock market, who are looking to try and hold on to a stock and see it going up, and then there's people who are looking to make a quick buck. And the fact of the matter is that me making this type of video helps the people who are looking to make a quick buck more than it helps the other people, because the other people are not engaged, right? They're not engaged, right? So if you're a AMC hodler and you're in that, you're getting involved in financial markets for the first time, I'd highly encourage you to actually get engaged, right? You know, and learn this stuff and do well. Now I hold this thing myself, I diamond hand it, but whatever. It doesn't seem to actually, nobody actually seems to care about that. I've talked to multiple other YouTubers as well, and they don't. Okay, so you're the people out there who say that they do, they're lying to you, right? They are. Anyway, I diamond hand it. Really, makes me wonder what the point in doing any of this is. To be quite frank with you, because the AMC people don't turn up to the show, don't chat on the channel, don't ask to be looked at, but they are here today. So since they asked for it, then that's pretty good. We're right. No, I didn't want to draw that in there. I was just chatting. I just did that in the background. I've got this point to make about this thing. Look, the weekly time frame, right? We're above the moving averages here in the 50 simple period moving average, right? We've come down to test this line. This is the yellow line, the 50 simple period moving average. And we come down to test it here, having followed on from a cross recently. Now, this is a perfect place to test this, and it's not the most common one. The most common one that people look to is probably the 20 simple period moving average. Now, the 20 simple period moving average is the basis line of the Bollinger Band here. So this is there's the middle line of the Bollinger Band. If I just bring up the Bollinger Band options, and I change the basis line, as I say there, to something else that you can see, like this yellow line there, for example, then you can see that we're below the 20 period weekly moving average. Actually, we've been below the 20 period weekly moving average since September on this one, and struggled to get back above. Now, we did push up early November above the 20 period simple moving average, but we didn't actually get any follow through there. Instead, tanked back down, and this is us coming back down to the lower end of the Bollinger Band here all at the same time. So while we're away from the 20 period moving average, which is the most commonly used 20 moving average on the weekly time frame to make this sort of kind of discussion about things, unless you're looking extremely broad term and you're talking about the 200 period moving average, etc. Now, that wouldn't be so common on this, because the type of analysis on this type of stock, because it's had a parabolic move recently and it's gone into all-time highs, etc., yada yada. But yeah, anyway, whatever. We can see that we're above the 50 simple period moving average there on that time frame. We've also tested the Bollinger Band, and that's extreme price movement. Now, what we need is two things. We need to get a nice bounce here to not move outside of it. If we trace down the way past this zone, past a few things of confluence, a liquidity box that I'd already drawn in the charts, has been there for quite a while. It was a big inflection point here in the markets. It's also a point when quite notably and famously, the director, the board of directors of AMC, the CEO Adam Aron, sold through a hedge fund all the remaining shares that the company had. So in a sense, like, the company itself didn't value itself higher than this on the long term. So this inflection point has got an extra meaning to it in that way. Now, you've also got the 50 simple period moving average. Now, if you start to move down into this zone, therefore, then you're most likely to be hugging and tracing the lower end of that Bollinger Band down the way, which means you really do need to see us take out that 20 period simple moving average again. So this is coming in here at $40 right now. So that's not a surprise. It's at $40. Okay, even though this is a massive time frame, etc., it's not a surprise that where that inflection point is here is at $40. It really truly isn't, as we can see, having spent months going sideways in this region before dropping down. As we also see here, we spent a very short period of time here anytime we came down previously, and this is us now, in effect, languishing despite the positivity that we've seen so far this week, down here towards the lower end of the charts, which is not particularly useful, right? So that's not great. Baby Joe, you're perfectly welcome. In fact, everybody that's in here is perfectly welcome. I'm talking about the literally hundreds of millions of people who go off and watch other YouTubers do AMC technical analysis on a daily basis, claim on YouTube and claim in their chat everywhere that they don't trade the thing, despite the fact that they're looking at the TA on it, and it's not very good TA either, and they're all everywhere else. They're not here watching this where it's good. And I actually quite categorically tell people that I don't myself benefit from any of this TA, or use it for anything particularly other than for the opportunity to particularly to rebuy more, which I'm not inspired to do since over the last couple of months, because of the lack of growth on that front for the channel, etc., and everything else, and the way that Adam Aron has been with the stocks, and just the lack of transparency and the lack of determination from the board to do a good job. Okay, it's just that, it's like, whatever. I've not sold any though. I'm not selling any, although a lot of other people do. Right. So yeah. So those are the main points that we've got here. We've all talked about in the past as well, all the different things like the patterns around this point here. But what I'm really trying to point out is the fact of where we are in the broad term. If I jump then go back down, you can see how this is evolving in the other storyline. You know, in terms of like the when we made it down past this zone here, that was very critical for us, and could then obviously anticipate moving down to our next area over here, which is very low. But we know that on the bigger time frames, there's still kind of hope yet for us on that on in terms of those moving averages just there. So what we want to see happening is for them to start looking good on the time frames in between. So I'm just making a broad analysis, starting off in the broad picture and narrowing it down here with a constant theme of the story in terms of the moving averages and what we're looking to see happen with these numbers and the as we look down the charts, so down time frame. So the 3-day time frame, you can see there's that pivot there that happened, and that was shocking. And then you can see on the 2-day time frame, similar deal. I'm just going to remove that yellow circle, doesn't need to be there. Again, you know, we're back inside the Bollinger Bands though at this point, and this is the positivity that we're seeing at the start of this week. So the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame, we've got a flash down there at 1078. So it is worth acknowledging and that this exists here, and that at some point this is 90% chance plus going to get filled, definitely at some point. So there are people out there in the world who are looking at this and saying, great, this would be a good opportunity to short this thing. Now the thing about this as well is that this is a daily time frame. It's a very, very big time frame, and that while this is a unique indicator and they're the only ones in the world that can see this, we're the only ones that have this drawn on our charts. This actually speaks to reasons that go beyond this being drawn on the charts, which is why it goes there. No one else gets to see this information. This is unique behind the curtains, but the prices still tend to go there. So obviously this is a big distinction to the other one that people talk about, like GME, that doesn't have a massive target down below in that sense, by the way, as it happens. But what we can say here is this is beautiful, wonderful. There's brilliant reasons for why the price should tank. Therefore, what we want is to happen is for and I've drawn this picture on a whole bunch of times. It's like we need to get a guy that's meant to be a hat. There we go. A guy that's and he's holding a fishing rod. That's a fishing rod. Here's our fishing line coming off the fishing rod, going down, and you're looking for shorties to come in here and be like nom 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 nom, nom nom nom, and bite at the fishing rod, you know, and buy that and supply liquidity. So we need reasons like this for the prices to be shorted, to give us the liquidity to go towards the top side. You need that, you know, in the same ways that people looking to short things need hopium and all the rest of it. They need people to get extremely carried away. What people needed was for Graham Stevens and Meet Kevin to come onto YouTube with their millions strong subscribers and tell people to buy it. You also needed the likes of, you know, everybody. So they needed all of that, right? And they got it. They got it there. So they got their meat pie. The AMC board of directors ditched theirs at that price, and Adam Aaron himself ditched his at what price? This price here, was it? Yeah, Adam Aaron ditched his at around about this price or this price here. So, you know, he's not even in the game any longer himself. Well, he didn't ditch all of it. He just ditched, you know, more than what he'd said in the previous investors meeting as his own suggestion for staying in charge of the company would have permitted him to do so under circumstances where the prices didn't drop down to these where the prices drop down to these lows, you know. Sorry, that's what I'm saying. So it's very confusing. It's very, very, very confusing, right? Very, 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 very confusing. So that's AMC, right? No, sorry, no, I'm not off AMC yet. I'm not off AMC yet. Sorry, I've not finished on my diatribe. I've only ever made it down to the daily time frame, but this is now in effect, and you can see here below the 200 simple at this point, right? So this is where things obviously are become worrisome, right? Because we dropped down and we tested 200 simple, but actually, you know, we moved below it, and that's the first time that's happened in that's the first time that's happened since the prices broke up above the 200 simple moving average on the daily time frame. They haven't come back to test it. They just touched it here, you know, and woof, off we go. Since the cross, since the good times, since January, you know, this year, all this stuff, right? So 24-hour time frame obviously the same. The 12-hour time frame is obviously the same as well, although there will be nuances at times because, you know, as we saw on what's that thing called you do Thanksgiving, there was that reduced trading hours. Sometimes that'll affect the nuanced differences between different time frames, right? Anyway, then you get down to the 4-hour time frame, and what do you see is the 4-hour time frame is that actually you've got is here we've had that death cross, and then here we had, and the Bollinger Bands make this impossible to see at this point. Here we've had it kind of crossing around, snaking around each other, and it's all up above us. Going down to 3-hour time frame, it's up above us, and there's another warning down below at $5. 2-hour time frame, it's all up above us. There's another warning down below at $5.80. The 1-hour time frame, it's all up above us again, all up above us again. The 30-minute time frame, and it's great and everything that we're above the 50 simple period moving average, and that as a result of today's price action so far. And it's just now that we've finally got to the point where, right, okay, maybe we're starting to see things get to the point where we trend up. 15-minute time frame, then we're back to where we kind of started off with the point of this, and you can see that we've come down, tested that. Will we be able to continue? And then the 5-minute time frame is back. We've had a cross outside of this liquidity zone, so very, very, very tentative early signs. We've got our targets up above here as well to aim to. Very early signs, nice movements, potential for us to go up there. Currently at $30, so the next move up, and bear in mind the next move up is more than 10% away from where we are right now, which means that loads of people will be taking profit at the next areas at $33. Big pivot point for us. The next one, whatever. But here we have it. There's the potential then for this to work out as a shoulder, a head, a shoulder. There's to put your neckline in this zone here. I'll check that message in a minute, Dan. Just finishing off doing the analysis for the rest of the AMC YouTubers at the minute, before I get back around to reading my own messages, etc. Because while there are 5 or 6 people or 10 people maybe or something like that in the audience right now that actually want me to do this, the vast majority of people watching along with any real interest right now are, of course, other YouTubers who are making money off the back of these efforts and growing their channels and everything else. So, highly reticent to continue doing this and with that going on the go while they refuse to give me acknowledgements for what I've been doing for them. Anyway, so anyway, apart from one guy out there who's a decent guy, and that of course is Jackson Hunter. He deserves, without a shadow of doubt, a mention for having been a good human being. Right, so here we have shoulder, head, shoulder, whatever. This is the potential for us. The target only really takes us though up towards that zone that we've been at before, maybe a little bit beyond, but it only takes us up as high as that. So you can see it doesn't actually put us into the world of changing the highs, lows, etc., unless you properly get the full thing and just a little bit of staying power. A wick alone's not going to do it. So but we're on for it. It's on. We're at the neckline. You got the positivity there, and that's really the argument they're making is that, yeah, absolutely, short-term time frames, you can absolutely make good positive news stories about AMC, but it only really takes you as high as areas where people would be taking profit at anyway, and that realistically doing the TA on this time frame is going to make you have to admit that would be the case. Because if we look at these lines that have just now drawn in as potential targets at the top side and go back up the movement, the time frames again, you'll see this story kind of play out for itself. That would be coming up and testing off the 200 simple period on the half-an-hour time frame or the 15-minute time frame here, and giving it a good try, maybe able to actually start to turn things around. But as you can see, we've not got an upward slope on these moving averages. That's not started yet. 5-minute time frame, we've got an upward slope on the 50 simple, still just tentative, maybe just getting one on the 200 simple, but not really there. A 3-minute time frame, you've got an upward slope on them, but right, that's just the 3-minute time frame. So we'll hold on to our horses a little bit. Going up to the 1-hour time frame, you can see obviously both sloping down the way. These lines just to test the 50 simple, moving up there. By the time that it did it, etc., could easily be that it's a test of the 200, and it just confirms this death cross, and it just then would confirm the negative the trend. That doesn't change anything in terms of highs and lows. The 4-hour time frame at this point, the 1-hour time frame, the the head and shoulders that we're talking about at least is still on, and still visible. Go up to the 4-hour time frame here, and you can see it kind of becomes a bit of a mess, starts to look a bit more like a bear flag even, and you can see we've just had another death cross there. Movements towards the top side, pop the drawings back on the way, take us up to close to testing these moving averages. So it would just simply be a test of the 50 simple falling from a death cross, which is incredibly bearish. So we're not seeing that translate across the time frames into positivity quite yet. And when that starts to happen, well, yeah, sure, you'll see it evolve. You will see it evolve on the charts, but this is where we are for just now. And let's face facts, that's where we are for just now. And the number one rule of trading is it is what it is until it is what it isn't. And on every single time frame, other than the tiny time frames and the weekly time frame, we're looking at this being in a downtrend, right? Let's face facts. And it's a downtrend that's been in since June, right? And we're in December now. So this is like, let's face facts. This is June to December. That's a half of a year. So we need to, face facts about things. And this is so on the small term time frames, very, very, very good. Excellent opportunities, absolute potential, really, really great, totally brilliant. Those small term time frames bring us right into a position where things could really give a good solid chance of turning positive. Absolutely could, really could. And also by that stage we'll be back far away again, in terms of we're relatively close in terms of the volatility, but far enough away again to start thinking about how we're not at the price points that were Adam Aaron pulled the rug on the company himself. We're not at those price points, but where we are right now, we're at those price points where Adam Aaron pulled the rug on the company. Do you remember that? How Adam Aaron pulled the rug on it? We're at that price point at the minute. And as it stands, the trend has been negative since June. So there we have it. Right, cool. Moving on here. Let's just put the GME chart on and see where we've ended up here in terms of the gap that we've got on the charts. This is the 4-hour time frame. We'll just bring up the 15-minute time frame, and yeah, okay, cool, still doing well. We got a measured move. Check it out. Got a measured move. Stick on the 3-minute time frame or something. Where was I did this? We got a measured move off the back of this triangle. Great, excellent. Moved up the way, came back down, retested it. This is obviously, while this is just hand drawn line here, this is where we are. So we are retesting this area again, and finding it going well so far. So islands in the stream, a nice little rocket platform there. Let's draw a rocket platform around it. You've got like, how do these things normally go? If I get like a little a trend line here going to this bit here, because that's where the astronauts would walk along, and then you've got like sort of infrastructure around it. That would be a nice doorway perhaps to get out to it, and then some steps. Oh, these steps are very dodgy. Oh no, okay, so steps there. They made it up anyway. And then a little astronaut. Astronauts look really fat, don't they? So and that's very Among Us. So it's an astronaut. Give it background here. An astronaut there. My platform's not very good. Whatever. So this can be the USS GME Enterprise, and we could be, well, I'll leave it on there. Right. So could this island rocket stream ship take us to the moon without coming back down to fill in those areas down below? Could it? Well, I'd lean more towards flash fills than gap fills needing to happen, as it happens for me, because I think because I think that makes more sense, doesn't it? It does. Really, you tend to see these things. So that one there is gone unfilled, gapping over the top of it. does give you the idea that you could then see that happening. It's just looking for reasons to see us coming back down. Yep. Then there is this on the 2-minute time frame. Yeah. So for me personally, I still kind of do anticipate a test of the 200 simple moving average here, and this kind of having issues. I do. But we're doing well so far, right? We've moved towards the top side. So let's see if there's where the 236 would be at, consolidating, because we're obviously consolidating below that now. Broken back down, that's 177. How high were we today? 181. Wow, excellent stuff. And but anyway, I'm more interested in other charts at the minute. Look, the thing is, right, I'm a trader, and it's great and everything talking to people who are not traders to introduce them to trading and using a stock which they dime in hand to show the concepts of trading. Except I'd rather talk about stocks that traders out there are actually trading amongst the audience. So if you are trading something and you're trading it, you're actually trading it, then let me know what it is and we can take a look at that. That'd be cool. Here's AHT, and it's what, 11.17, 11.28 today as well. This strange, we filled in our gap. Almost, no, not quite. Well, is it close enough on that front? I tend, in terms of Bitcoin land, I don't think of gaps being filled partially as being close enough. I don't. On the CME chart. In terms of stock lands, I kind of do a wee bit because people are so all over the place with them. But I tend not to. So it's not happened yet. So I'm going to just say it's not happened. This is about a time frame sort of thing as well, though. I'm not so keen on 3-minute ones. See how it lines up elsewhere. There's that volatility in around that peak, that zone there. We've got a, where is this then? This is up at 11.76 is where that flash comes in at. Have we done enough with the volatility here to satisfy that so we can move on with our targets? It could be that people are like, come on, just leave that and it'll just go then. I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be divergent at the tops there. Yeah, it is. So like that was an inevitability. These 3 flashes were in at a gap. Oh, yeah, these 3 lines. All right, whatever. We're all good. We're good there. We're good there. So close to being filled. Yeah, I know, right? Trace on. I'm something of a demanding person myself. Oh, that's cool. I'm not a fan of any CEO unless they are doing good frequently. They are supposed to be very good if they're going to be running a company, never mind a big one. Yeah, Adam Aaron's a shite CEO. I don't know why people like him. No, Chris, we are all good. It's just we can't use price action to distinguish between Aaron Adam and Ryan Cohen. We can only go on what they themselves do and what either of them have done for us lately. Well, Ryan Cohen is doing nothing for us. I don't really think in terms of that sort of stuff. Ryan Cohen's out there for himself. Let's not be idiotic about things, okay? Ryan Cohen is number one agenda is for Ryan Cohen. That's most likely to be the case. So anyway, that was fun. So there's that. Ryan Cohen, though, however, does seem to believe more in the future of GameStop than Adam Aaron believes in the future of thingy. That's all they can really do for us, right? It's all they can really do. Ryan Cohen has tweeted several times stuff that's afterwards the price actions dropped. In terms of his interaction with us, I prefer it when what he does is he does nothing, to be honest with you. Just be a nice guy. What I want to see Ryan Cohen doing is, like, I don't know, going out there and saying something like setting up a GME, the GameStop environmental health kids education seminar, right? That's what I want to see Ryan Cohen doing, and giving access to educational gaming health for mental health and environmental health and everything for children all around the country, something like that, right? That's what I want it for free. That's what I want to see him doing. I think that's the best thing he could do for the company off the top of my head. In terms of anything that he's done so far for the company, owning it and being a nice guy is basically all he's done. Beyond that, he has he's encouraged the other directors to make good hires. So that's good. And he has not sold all his shares. However, he's done other idiotic things, like said buckle up at the earnings thing or whatever it was, or the AGM or whatever, and stuff like that, and it was all bollocks. So there's all that, and his tweets are bollocks, and his timing on all that's Bollocks. Anyway, so whatever. And I don't actually know how good he is at running a business or anything. I just know that he's dynamic and he wants things to be fresh. So I think it's really good, you know? It's kind of like if I could go into a classroom full of 16, 17-year-olds and find a bright-eyed, non-pot smoking one which wasn't a total nerd as well, or whatever, then, and you gave me 4 years, then I think you could turn them into Ryan Cohen, and then and then after that it's a case of opportunity. So Ryan Cohen seems to be a nice guy who's of reasonable intelligence at least, and has at least a 2 to 5 year headline sort of vision for where he wants to take GameStop, and it involves maintaining this price of stock round about these levels at least. That's kind of what Ryan Cohen appears to be. And compared to Adam Aaron, there's no comparison there. I mean, that's like a million times better. But to say that there's anything special about him, I don't really know. I really honestly don't know. He's dynamic, he's great and everything. I don't know. I don't know enough about Chewie and everything. I really don't know. Like, I really don't know enough about Chewie and all the rest of it and what he did there. I think he just had a really great opportunity and did well, and he's got some sort of smarts about him that he didn't lose control and interest and stuff like that in the company. So he did really well. Yeah. Anyway, I think there's good things about him. He doesn't smoke too much pot. That's a good thing, right? Right. Cool. Okay. And he's not fat and dying like Adam Aaron. Rocky Outcrop, no. What are you saying? Why? What's the problem? What's the problem? Ryan Cohen's not done anything for us for ages. I mean, if you want me to lie about it, I can lie about it. Here, I'll lie about it for a while. Ryan Cohen has been great for us for ages. You see, what he's done is he's released loads of real positive news at the right time to give us the right catalyst to help the markets move up the way. And he hasn't, right? He's a really good guy. He's a nice guy, really nice guy. He's really young, right? Whether or not this guy goes on to be Steve Jobs in the next 30 years, etc., is going to be a story for the next 30 years. It's not a story for me, and I'm not going to be the one to judge him anyway. What can you say about any of this stuff? Nothing. Right, that's all you can say. Thanks so much. Pot smokers are the smartest. I agree. Oh, you're talking about that. All right, sorry, Apple. Yeah, no, it's totally, I mean, maybe he smokes pot. It's fine. Herder. I'm trading CCJ. 30 calls for December 17. What do you think, Rocky? CCJ. Well, that's the markets. The markets have done this today. Actually, just quick look on SPY. Yeah, exactly. SPY's done the same thing as well. Quick look on VIX. Big drop down in VIX as well. Excellent. Good to see that happening as kind of scheduled, as we anticipated. So CCJ, which means a county court judgment in the UK. That means a CCJ is something that you don't want to have on your financial background. People in the UK watching that will be like, CCJ, lol. Anyway. Like your credit rating in the UK. If you said you had 10 CCJs or whatever, people would be like, uh-oh, that's bad. The 382 right here, the 200 simple period moving average, coming back down to test the 200, the 236 wouldn't fill in the gap. The 50 simple moving average there also wouldn't fill in the gap either. This previously before was very regimented here. It's kind of like it dipped outside of a wedge in that sense. Chris, 10 CCJs equals shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. How many CCJs do you have? I am not changing my judgment on Ryan Cohen or GME regardless of what happens tomorrow. I'll always be dead honest in everything I say about prices derived from the chart. And the tomorrow, I don't know what you're talking about. Earnings call tomorrow. I think that tomorrow's earnings call will be great. There'll be all the positive updates about everything that we want to have heard about. Really, that's it. Ryan Cohen has beautiful dimples, says Ghost of Dan. Oh, there we have it. I think that's the most important thing. He tell you what, he takes a great photograph of the puppy, does Ryan Cohen. great photograph of the puppy. He was born to run Chewy in that sense. Like, I might look cute enough with a puppy, but I'm not going to look as cute as Ryan Cohen with a puppy. And there you go, like born for it. So, yeah, what were we talking about here? Oh, yeah, the Ryan Cohen thing. See the earnings tomorrow and that. I expect them to be pretty good. What's going to happen though is it's going to probably be similar to the last earnings call, right? I did the last earnings call live. Maybe I'll do the one tomorrow live if it's tomorrow, or if it's the day after. I thought that news article we read said 2 days, but maybe that news article was published yesterday. I'll do that. I'll probably do it. Probably cover it live at the time. Although I don't know, because the last few times I've done it, I've done real positive. I've looked at it. I think they've been great. I've enjoyed listening to them and everything else. And then I've gone and looked and seen what the rest of the world has been saying, and they've been super negative about them. And it's really annoying, and it puts me off doing them at all. Like, I can do them for myself and for people, I suppose, here, but it puts me off talking to people about it because they completely misinterpret everything and they don't listen to the nuance. Now, I listened to the nuance of the last GME earnings call, and it was great for what you can get from an earnings call. We got all of the good things that we wanted to get from it, more or less. The rest of the world seemed to listen to it and say it was dead negative. It just makes me bored being part of the conversation, if I'm perfectly honest with you. So I'll have my own opinion on it, and it'll be positive. It will be, but I don't know what I'll say about it or if I'll do it or not. I really don't. I know that I can tell you what though. It's almost certainly that there's going to be a whole load of shite misinformation out there over the next couple of days. Tons and tons and tons of it. It's going to be embarrassing. Banana Fridge, cheers, Rocky. Pro Crime Raiders is after 4 p.m. GMT. Perfect. Thanks, man. So I'll give myself another 15 minutes on the show. $15 minutes on the show. So when that turns, I wanted to keep it so you could see it, but that's not going to happen. You can see it kind of on my face. When that goes red, the show's up. So if you want to take a look at something, you're going to have to ask for something. Bulldog asked for something. All right, cool. Bulldog, where are you? Where are you, Bulldog? Where are you? Two legitimate ticker bingo things there. Did you see that? How exciting was that? Well, we've been waiting for it. We finally had one. It's been 3 days waiting for that. 3 days. Right, cool. Anyway, sorry, Dan. Don't have numbers for those. Well, I have a number, but we haven't really organized it. That's number 2. I could take a look at that. That was, I knew what that was off the top of my head. But it was Tezos. But I don't know if I won it necessarily, but we could. Thanks, Dan. That was great. That's 2. Was it Dan? Was it Dan that did both? Dan, it was. Thank you. Excellent. Ryan Cohen has beautiful dimples. He does. Wait a minute. Oh, the machine didn't. The machine went off twice for the one. I don't know. I don't get it. Right. Anyway, the machine went off twice there. So obviously my Lumia stream's still not quite working, right? It went twice. That was weird as. I just realized that GME first bear case that has wings. Ryan Cohen has dimples and puppy pics won the hearts of all the pocketbook dog owning urban women. Will it have the same effect on GameStop's incels and neckbeards? No. Selling. Good point. See, right, that was supposed to make it last for 20 seconds and play the music as well. I'll do that. I can do that myself. But how good is that, though, eh? The zooming in and the bouncing around the balls and the bouncing and the balls and the bouncing and the balls. Where is it? How do I get this to do this thing again? If I go to here. Here, let's do those squats. I'm supposed to take a look at whatever it was Bulldog Buchanan wanted, but I just get it. I don't know what it was that you asked for. Katie, yeah, Marcus agreeing, so I'm looking for treasure. What was it that you asked for? We'll do that in a second. $16, $17, $18, $19, $20. Cool. Done. Right. Excellent. We did it. Yeah, Bulldog. ASM. Avino, silver, and mining. Cool. Hey, Jen. Nice to see you. Right. So. Ticker bingo. So. Oh. Yeah, I didn't do them already. So, quick comparison here. All right, generally speaking, same chart. A bit more volatile, perhaps. That was a quick comparison with silver. Obviously, this is based on the silver price. This is the equivalent of nugget, or is that right? Yeah, equivalent of nugget, essentially. You know, in terms of its correlation with gold. Oops. It's hard to see. Anyway. So. Ticker bingo. Ticker bingo. First off, this. Well, yeah, it's very similar to the silver chart, right? So the silver chart, on the other hand, here, a lot more liquidity, a lot more, you know, if silver moves because silver's going to move somewhere, the other one's going to follow it. If the other one moves because it's going to go somewhere, silver's not going to follow it. Yet the two charts still seem the same. So it's fair to say that silver completely dominates the other one. But within a degrees of variance. So that's just the 15-minute time frame. This looks like I've got drawn on some sort of retrace. Oh, what's all that? Just go away. Better. I mean, it's not looking too hot for silver, really, is it? Not looking too hot for silver overall. Uh-huh. This most recent rise did what? 50% on that one. Uh-huh. So, yeah. That doesn't look too hot. Right, so it was AMS, something like that. Nah, what was it? ASM. It also has that flash down there. It's hard to look away from that, isn't it? Hard to look away from that, Amanda. So you know, in this period of time when silver had its own push, you know, this was much more volatile. It's going to make this Fibonacci go a little bit crazy, right? This is why when I was on the silver chart there, as you can see. That's why I was, when I was on the silver chart there, being aware of the fact that in this period of time there was this big movement in the charts. Why I was measuring the Fibonacci that I had, I remember I was measuring, I was kind of looking between these different points, right? I was just looking around because I was thinking, when I go back to the other chart, what we're going to see here is this insane thing. It's going to completely ruin it. And I was just kind of thinking, how would you look beyond that? Come down to the 618 golden pocket. Okay, good. Got a bounce from there. Okay, good. Went above the 50 simple, 50, well, went above the moving averages, sure, but came back down below them, went above the, back above the 50% retrace area, so that was good. And from its sort of, from that high, like kind of not great to be doing all this type of thing. It did a 382 retrace, and that was okay. This is a negative though. This is negative. It's gone down past this previous low here, which is a big problem. And while this here looks like it's higher low, is it going to have? It's probably what we're probably going to see here is a dose of hidden bearish divergence on this high, and this isn't going to look like it's actually finished yet. Well, you just get hidden bearish divergence on all of them. Funnily enough, this last one didn't really necessarily have hidden bearish divergence necessarily. Why not? Was it actually also higher than the last one? It was, yeah, it was marginally higher than the last one. So, you know, if you were to say that this was some sort of uptrend and that was your first high, 10 minutes left maximum. If you were to say that this was your uptrend and that was your first high, then you had bearish divergence on the go there with that one as well. So that's not good. Now let's just take a look down at the oscillators here as well. Now, actually, bearish and a bounce there. Has this got anything good about it? So like a low, a high, a higher low, a hidden bullish divergence. You're not going to sell me on that one, I'm afraid. What sort of recovery can we get? Here's a nice little example, like of the DMI, kind of showing you well trend and price actions happening. You know, this DMI here, you know, came up to this point where you'd expect a bounce, and you're thinking, well, is that the end of the negativity then? Because it's so, like, you know, it's so negative. It hasn't come here for over 3 years. Maybe this is the low then here, since this is the worst it's been for 3 years. Maybe this is the low. A couple of points on this one. That peak there came in and the prices went lower anyway at that point. Even though the DMI sloped off. And then ultimately as well, the what was the other example there? Yeah, we came up here and put in our sort of our second high, the sort of the debatable, because time frames are going to change that, debatable higher high that we had in there. And you can just see that the DMI, you know, not actually turning around in the meantime, and not actually being able to put in you know, like this lack of trending, the complete lack of trending during this period. See the strength of the trend, if anything, just going down, you know, during this period of time. Well, what was this period of time here? This was this whole movement up the way, following on from where you'd previously been saying, well, this is the worst it's ever been, yada yada, even though it went worse. And then and that sort of thing, you know, for years. So this is a good example of just like how these things are important, but you're really going to want to be paying attention to Market structure. Amanda, it doesn't look very good for your stock, right? If you're shorting it, then well done to you. If you are long on it, then I hope that it gets. I hope that it gets to turn around here. So the critical things for us turning this around at this moment in time boil down to this low. This low that we've had, this higher low. Hoping that this is a higher low. If this actually turns out to be a higher low and we can start trending from here, then very good. Very, very, very good. That's very good. But where are we gonna see the positivity coming in at exactly? Like, where is that going to start coming in at? We could get one of these kind of unusual crosses over here on this one. It'd be better off just looking at it on silver. Honestly, silver here, you can see, like, while the things have gone, while the potential to go positive because of the lack of volatility, like ASM here showing us this cross on the DMI, and looking like this. Great. Maybe this leads us slightly. Maybe this gives us that first glimpse at the positivity kicking in, like things are about to get great here. Or maybe it's just more volatile, lower liquidity, and you're seeing this happening when over here on somewhere else, which is like it's got more about it. You can see that it just remains negative. It doesn't mean that we can't go up and do things up the way, but like there's gaps down here in the silver chart that we could go in and fill. That's compelling. It is a downward trend. It has been. Yes, this looks like it's rounding off at the bottom. Yes, this looks like a roundy area. Yes, these last couple of wicks with the liquidity happening in those regions and the things that yes, there's a decent trade on here. You'd have to manage your risk at a point where the next move down would be the much better entry, where it's knocking you out for it to get to the better entry, and that can be a problem. Bam, bam, bam. Well, that's that then. Excellent stuff. Thank you so much for that $69.99, Luke Spears. It's very generous of you, very kind. Hi, Rocky. Can you take a look at the chart for Re Automotive? Is an EV company. Excellent stuff. So I would love to have the time to do this here, ladies and gents, but I don't. This has been going down an awful lot today. It's gone up a wee bit, but it's changed a lot, really. I'd also like to point out to people, is it this guys? Liquid. Big problems here for these guys. I mean, they're going to be screwed here for a wee while, I reckon. Let's see. So anyway, sorry man, don't have any time left here. I squatted the shit out of those squats. Nice one, Shakar. Don't expect to get a nice one, man. Don't expect to get a response, but those things, there are things that AE does that Jamie doesn't do now, and they have one opportunity to try some of that if they wish in the best place for them to do it in the world. Great. Hard for me to care that much about any of this chat at the minute, to be honest with you. Dude, if Ryan Cohen chatted with the Curran brothers, I think we discover enlightenment. Maybe we would. Now that's much more. That's a sentence I enjoy reading. I think you have a better chance at reaching a with a tweet, to be honest, TradeSpawn. Well, I've tweeted at Ryan Adam Aram and he's ignored me a few times. I don't think so. I think that Adam Aaron lies about who manages his Twitter account. I don't think it's him at all. Although it could be. I doubt it. If GME wanted to happen, it would, Sky. If you're puffed out of breath, your squats are proper, no lazy squats. Yeah, that's it. I always feel it. I always get to number 19 and regret doing squats on the show at all, right? And this is how it works for me. I do 15 squats, 10 squats, whatever, no problem. I get to like 18, 19, and it goes through my head. Why do I do this? It's off-putting to new people who come to the channel. It is, right? It's off-putting to people who come to the channel. It looks weird. It's like, why would I do this? Why? It's killing me. It's so hard. It's hurting. It's hard. It's hurting. And then I go, that's why I'm doing it. And I keep doing it. You won't believe what's going to happen on TradeSpot soon. No CEO is above dropping in for a cup of tea and chat with their business. That's right. Exactly. Yes. Brilliant. He wrote back, says, Sammy, yo, hopeful there, that positivity. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. Thanks. Good one, Bulldog. Well done. TradeSpawn, I think it's because Aram is more narcissistic. He has done calls with YouTubers before. Ryan Cohen is not allowed to give interviews at the minute clause in his contract till the end of the year, I believe. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I don't know if Adam and Aaron is more narcissistic than Ryan Cohen or not. I would have to have some knowledge of what Ryan Cohen was like to be able to make some sort of assessment on that front, I suppose. Are you saying Jamie would definitely wear a Cohen skin? That'd be weird. Nobody wrote back. I just tweeted overrated, lols. Give it a year and $1 million might make it happen. Oh, Jesus. 2024 CEO and that seem to only give a shit about the highest numbers and engagement. Surely CEOs not seem to only give a shit about the highest numbers and engagement. Surely, yeah. Yeah. Well, no, CEOs. Well, whatever. Eh? So that big question is: Rocky also just GME in a skin suit? Yeah, that's right. It doesn't have to be Ryan Cohn or a board member. Nobody will respond, but I tried to be clear that anybody at all would be welcome. Yeah, cool. Okay, right. Just going to skip through all that chat there. So Apple Blossom, he's a senior community manager. Who is? Whatever that means. Great. I would say that, but oh no, you're all right. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. GME starting to fill our gap. Good one. We love the squats. We love the squats. Good one, RM. Awesome. Awesome. Trades one. Community managers run events, coordinate social media, plan events based around community managers who are all based in different locations, etc. Yeah, generally speaking, Chainlink. I was going to become a Chainlink community manager last year because I just kind of wanted to just wanted to get involved in Chainlink and stuff like that, but I decided not to in the end. Cheers, Rocky Outcrop. It's 4:30. Yep, my alarm's gone off. It's time for me to go. Oh, the website that can't mention at the risk of being thingy. What's the website? What website's that? I think you're gonna get banned. You're not gonna get banned. You're not gonna get banned. You're fine. You're fine. Everyone's fine here. Everyone's fine here. I think. Right, lol, nice one. The Goats Jiu-Jitsu guy. Originally, thanks so much, Dan. Originally, Ryan Cohn was contractually prohibited from talking about the company until March next year, but somebody found it was actually up until last month. Oh, really? So he's allowed to talk about the company. Interesting stuff. Well, he's not done anything since last month. Right, well, cool. Okay, well, that's us done here then, ladies and gents. You could have asked for technical analysis on lots of different stuff, but you didn't, so tough luck to you. Re was one of them, but its chart would have been a fairly hard one. Here's Chainlink. It's currently at $20.47. It's a shocker of price action for us. It's a shocker. Might as well just ditch all this sort of stuff into the bin here if I can. That's better. So yeah, this is the pain. So the pain here, this is the 24-hour time frame. A couple of days ago, down at $15.29. It's ludicrous. It's incredible. It's shocking. It's horrible. It's amazing, and all the rest of it. $38 to $15 in the space of just a short period of time, and then back up again. But this is the world that we live in. So friends and family out there in the AMC land, what would be the chances? And tell me, what do you think? If we did go down to $10 here, having been up at these other ones, would we see the rises up the way, and how would we feel about it? And therefore, how do you feel about the total crypto market cap, for example, and what happened with it recently going down to test 200 simple? Was that satisfactory? Did it do enough with this? And have we had enough? And do we, are we happy with this now? And can we recover or not? Does this have too many feelings like the silver chart? Has it really just been struggling at the top end of here? Is that what's been going on? Does silver in fact remind you a little bit of AMC currently with this structure at the top here? And what do you feel at the minute is going on over here in Spyland? Because we've obviously had this big drop down, we're back up, we're trading within the range, and that's all great and everything. Left a big gap on the charts, and we've not taken our highs though, and it's fairly precarious as the VIX volatility index then actually then subsides an awful lot from where it was yesterday, leaving its own gap on the charts there. And while this is what we kind of anticipated happening, there's question marks that have been left all around the industry today with these gaps. So GME, as Gio was reporting there, was coming in to fill in the gap, and it's come back down to the 200 simple. We're into the area of the gap just now, so done good there. And yeah, excellent. I hope you all have a good lovely day. Got to run and teach. Thanks again, Rocky. Thanks again, Sammy. Yo, that's great. When did you teach it then, Jamie? I can't find it, says Joe. So Joe's away off doing the investigations. Okie dokie. DC, can we see Bollinger Bands? BlackBerry. So BlackBerry, I'm tuning out by the way now. Here's BlackBerry. Where are we? 9:37. Did we get back down? We'll have filled in that flash that I had, of course, wherever it was. Remember I wrote it out in the charts? No doubt we filled that in now. After here's the 24-hour time frame. There it is. There it is. There it is. There. Right, there you go. Shit for brains. BlackBerry is done. Come on. Oh, it's not there. So this bloody company gone bloody well did what the Flash said it would do. This is honestly, I've never seen anything better than this indicator. It astounds me constantly. It's the culmination of years and years of work understanding what's going on in the market in terms of this. I mean, in essence, it's not actually super complicated. It's fairly simple, but it's all about the route towards having come up with this thing, and we've done that now. So wow, great, excellent. That was like another. When was that we talked about this? May. Yeah, May. Waited a long time for that. May. Wow. Well, anyway, cool. Sorry, no, there's no time for any more TA. That's your answer on that one. All right. Thanks. I've only made 240 odd videos, and despite what I've done in Rocky 2, we have a tiny reach, and don't expect a response. Never mind the trust of someone who hasn't seen us before. Totally. Here's YouTube. I was looking at this guy, TA Outdoors. He was called TA Outdoors. I thought maybe he did technical analysis outdoors, like guitar outside kind of thing. Actually, he bought a woodland. He's just a guy that owns a woodland. I could show you how many videos that I've got, but I also can't be bothered with that. I can tell you it's over 2,000. Right, excellent stuff. I'm going to tune out now. Thanks so much for everybody tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Go trade and make some money. Aye, that's the way to do it, eh? YouTube isn't the thing for making money from these days. Right, great. Thanks so much. Much love to everybody. Here's the reverse roll call. Traceborn, thanks so much. KP, Exhale, Christy, Duo, KE, DC, Stephen K, Apple Blossom, Sammy Yo, Ghostly, Spirit of Luke Spears, Andrew Suh. Yeah, Andrew Suh. IREM, IREM, I should say. Katie, Coast of Jiu-Jitsu guy, Apple Blossom, Sammy Yo, Sky, Jesus, Simple, Rick, Amanda, good to see you, Merrick as well, good to see you, Chris, and Sammy, Jen, and Sarah Rara, who's that, Harginder Singh, Cancer. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Good to see you, Dimi, Katie of Charka. Look, see these people, all these people that tune in all the time, right? They're tuning in because they realize that there's that learning this technical analysis thing is a skill for life. Oh, thanks, Das. That's really awesome. They realize this thing's a skill for life, right? They realize this thing's a skill for life. Now you'll tune in and you'll see people so often come and go. They come and go. There's people here that have been here for a long time. There's people that you maybe expect to see that are not turning up at the minute, and that's totally fine because there'll always be that sort of thing. That'll always happen. There'll always be people that come and go. But you're here because you're here now. Because you've decided to take your own, destiny into your own hands, and there will always be attrition. So if you're here now and you're not talking because you're a bit of a lurker and you feel like it's like a clique or it's not accessible, don't because people will always come along and come and go, etc. in here, and you can be a part of that. And I'd love it if you were. So do feel like do chat if you're new. That's good. You're allowed to. I changed it today to be 20 minutes. You had to be subscribed for because I wanted to see if I could get some more subscribers through chatting, and all that. So, but there you go. And then other people, the ones that have been in here in the past, they'll come back round again, And then the other people and stuff. So just be a part of it. So freaking awesome. Thank you so much. So Jerry, just everybody to just thank you so much for the sexy sex. SEK for that. So thank you so much. Yes, and to everybody as well that also that donated to me during this chat here is really appreciated. Let me just get the activity feed do that up here. Thanks so much for the Generation Ape for the it translated into dollars. It's much more fun to say thanks so much for the 100 secs. Yeah, thanks so much for the 100 secs. What the Ghosted Dan, thanks so much for that. Ghosted Dan, you've done a couple of times. Luke Spears, thank you. Ghosted Dan again and again, thank you so much. Das, thank you so much as well. Bulldog Buchanan, thank you so much. Do you mind taking a look at ASM? I'm so sorry for not having seen that message come in at the time. Thanks again, Ghosted Dan. Really helping support the channel there as well. Thank you so much. Paul Dooley, thanks so much. Komodosh, thank you. Daniel Groves, thank you. Sarah Steino, thank you. Super wonderful people. Thank you so much for that. You really, massively appreciate it. You're great people. And thanks for being a part of the show today, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. Right, so tomorrow we'll be doing the trying to keep things nice and simple, and again, I'll hopefully do a cleaner and a shorter show and all the rest of it too, because I'm needing to build up my energy. What I'm going to do is go and, well, actually, I was going to pretend that I was going to go and watch your man talk about his woodland, but the actual fact is I've got work to do. So I'll do what KP says and go and trade and all that, make some money. By the way, here's a wee little like raid for anybody. If anybody wants to go along and say hello to my good friend BMJ. Oh, he's finished, has he? Oh, piss. Oh, well, whatever. You get the point. Right. Much love, everyone. Catch you next time. Where's the button? Where's the button? There's the button. There's the button. Yeah, much love, everybody. Where is it? Where's the thing? Where is it? Much love, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again tomorrow.